Hey there, YouTubers. Right, so this is the Aorus Elite AX B760m, and in this video, I'm going to install the i5-13600kf as well as a couple sticks of RAM. I've already got my M.2 installed. We know that works. So let's go ahead and start the video. Sadly, I've misplaced my Samsung S21 that I record most of these videos with now, or say most of recent videos. So we'll pull that back and grab our CPU. It's actually coming from a different motherboard. And the worst thing you can do right now is have a cat walking around. Like, there's actually one that hopefully will not get too close. There he goes. See the legs. So little triangle there, and that is not supposed to fall off like that. Which tells me I didn't do a good job putting it on there. So normally, you drop this down and that's going to pop off. In this case, not going to have to worry about that. So making sure that thing's seated good, very important to do that. Now we've got that in. In this video, folks, going to do the NH-U12S Redux for the CPU cooler. And while not ideal for this CPU, it'll work, at least for gaming. I've thought about buying a 3000 RPM for this one like I did with the NH-U14S, but that actually turned out to be kind of a bust. So, alright, let's get some thermal paste. Since we're using Noctua CPU cooler, let's use some genuine thermal paste. And I don't know how much is in here. It looks like it's not coming out too easy. So kind of doing like a 3-line technique. And alright. If we're lucky, that's enough. If we're not so lucky. Alright, so we could have waited to do the thermal paste until I get this CPU bracket in. And actually, that would be smarter, right? But in this case, folks, if you do the thermal paste this early, you have to be careful that you don't get it all over your hands. It's pretty easy to do. And personally, I'm a little distracted right now by this cat that is walking around all my motherboards. And there's a good chance he will screw something up, but that's alright. So I want it oriented like that. That means this guy's got to go in like that. And bracket wise, this should be the one that's got a 78 in it. Not the 83. Oh gosh, the cat's coming back. I think he's probably hungry, needs attention. Who knows what his problem is. There's 2 of them. Usually they don't bug me this late at night. They're off sleeping somewhere. So we will need a Phillips number 2 to tighten this down. Luckily we have this one. This is actually my favorite Phillips screwdriver. I got this, I think, from Deep Cool. Be nice if Noctua would send me a Phillips screwdriver, considering how many of these CPU coolers I've helped them sell through the Amazon Associate link. But hey, we're a small channel. They've probably never seen me before. Interesting enough, though, some of the other channels, you know, kind of cool when they are not the, I was going to say the channels that are run by some of the larger companies. It's kind of cool when one of them drops in and leaves you a note. I'm sure some of them probably would like to tell me some negative stuff, but hey. Alright, so that's in. And, you know, checking my hand, I actually have thermal paste on there from a different point in the day, but we didn't get it on that time. So I'm just going to try and get a couple threads on, then jump to the other side, rotate this, and just make sure that we've got threads on there. So much easier to tighten the other side when you don't tighten it all the way down. So I think in this video we're going to try the Aorus 5200 megahertz RAM, 32 gigs. I do have some faster stuff, but I don't think I want to break that out today. So yeah, moving CPUs around. The i5-13400F is going to end up in a Z690. We'll see how that performs. Because to be honest with you, it performed horribly in the Gigabyte B760DS3H. Now this is a much better quality motherboard from Aorus. But Aorus is, you know, obviously owned by Gigabyte. Alright, so just in case you're wondering, I've already put the brackets in here, but that's how the bracket goes, okay? And then our fan cable, since it's so long, we're going to run it pretty much underneath this thing. And sometimes, folks, you have to put your RAM in first. This case we're going to be okay. So we'll put the CPU cooler in. We want it to sit relatively low, because if you've ever put a thermal probe on one of these CPU coolers, you know it's obviously hotter down at the bottom than it is at the top. And so this is not on there perfect. What a surprise. So yeah, I talked about doing a 3000 RPM CPU cooler. You know, that's going to be good for maybe a few degrees cooler, maybe even as much as 5 degrees, I think I witnessed with the NH-U12S. But the truth is, that CPU, that was with the i5-13600kf that I have. It's still thermal throttled in benchmark, so just added a lot of noise. Alright, so I don't know if you saw that. 4-pin, it's kind of hidden. Let me go ahead and take it out again, show you again. This can go in only one way, and it's a little tight in there. So possibly a better idea would be to do this connection before you put the fan on. And there we go again, it's in. Alright, so our RAM, if I can find our RAM. Aorus 5200 megahertz, 16 gig sticks. You know, it's amazing all the RAM I've collected for this channel. As we move more towards DDR5, I'm almost like soon we're going to be dumping all that. Like, I've dumped so many motherboards, I've dumped so many CPUs. The only way to make this channel better, obviously, is to get more gear. Well, actually, that's not true. There's a lot of ways to make this channel better. One would be for me to hire some better talent to do this job. The other, is, well, I digress. So, we're hoping for a double snap here. And you could hear that, right? So, that's in good. And that's pretty much our setup, folks. So we'll do a benchmark video, separate video, right? Gotta get those views. So we'll do a separate video and we'll do some benchmarks. You'll get to see what kind of temps this gets up to, what the scores are. I hopefully will remember to compare the scores to either the Z690 or Z790 benchmarks I previously did. This will be without overclock, but it will include a power limit set to unlimited. And that's the only adjustment. Alright, thanks for checking out the video, folks. Please like to subscribe. Thank you.